Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Good morning and welcome to the holidays. They are here, favorite time of the year for most people. For some people, shouldn't say most people. That's speaking for maybe too many who treasure their time either at work or alone and don't feel forced sometimes to be around all sorts of. That's not me. I'm just saying there are a few people out there. Great to be with everybody. Happy Monday. Phil Elson here, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. It's halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com, the Hit That Line Now app. Good morning to you, Matt. Good morning to you, Christian. Thanksgiving week is here. We get a short week. That's one reason to be thankful. We won't have shows Thursday and Friday. Another reason to be thankful, get a chance to win a 7th game on Saturday, 6th win on Saturday this past weekend. And just thankful to be here with you guys today talking sports and specifically Razorback sports.
Happy Monday, that's for sure. Man, how cool was that? DeBinion 100-yard rushing game. That was big time. Saw the Chiefs win. That was cool. Saw the debacle that are the Washington Commanders. So there was some good sports going on over the weekend. My Army Black Knights didn't come through for me, but how about those Boomer Sooners?
Ooh, yeah, your Army Black Knights didn't come through for you or really make that any sort of semblance of a game. Indiana, yeah, some semblance of a game. Didn't look like they necessarily belonged with Ohio State, certainly in the last 3 quarters. Yeah, how about the unranked road teams in the SEC on Saturday, throwing us into complete, utter, absolute white-hot chaos, along with what went on in the Big 12 with, what was it? It was you had the Colorado lose against Kansas on the road. You had BYU get defeated by Arizona State, and it is utter chaos in the SEC and the Big 12. I mean, the thing is it's not necessarily chaotic to decide who's going to play in the championship game for the SEC. I don't know the tiebreaker scenarios in the Big 12. I guess I could look those up, but it's as simple as this. You see A&M and Texas on Saturday, Matt. The winner of that plays Georgia in the SEC championship game. The winner gets a bye to in the college football playoff. And then there's the assumption. I guess it's a would it be an assumption? A&M. Let's here. This remember we were getting into this last week with Georgia. We thought maybe this could happen to Georgia because I did not expect or think that Auburn would rise the way that they rose and beat A&M. It doesn't matter if it was home. I wouldn't have expected the same thing from Oklahoma against Alabama, and wouldn't have expected it from Ole Miss losing the way that they did at Florida. But let's say that this happens. A&M beats Texas. It's Georgia A&M in the championship game, and then A&M wins, and then you end up with a 4-loss SEC champion that goes to get a bye. They would be ranked 4th in that case. And then Georgia with a 3rd loss, we're supposed to assume that they get in, which I would think they do, because I don't really think you should be discounting. I think you should discount the SEC championship loss. And then the only team right now that's 100% in this case would be Texas. If they lose to A&M, it's 2 losses. They'll be in. So if you're Texas,
Are they still in the SEC
Yeah.
championship game if they lose to A&M?
No, that's right. That's exactly right. No, it's the winner of that game.
Okay,
then,
just the
then
winner.
It's a tiebreak. We don't have any other tiebreaker scenarios. We don't have to worry about the coin flip or the related scoring margin amongst teams that your grandmother used to root for. It's nice. In that case, it's clear cut. With the Big 12, I don't know. But here, I mean, Matt, you're in a situation here where you're going to end up potentially with the Big 10, 4 teams to get in. Look, whatever happened with Indiana against Ohio State, I've come to the conclusion that if you're part of one of the 2 big leagues in this sport and you finish with 1 loss, heck, it's like you're saying, Matt, if you're an SEC team, you just said this before we got on the air, if you're an SEC team and you lose 2,
10-2 always gets you in. I
should be in.
I think in the SEC, and Phil, I watched some of that Indiana-Ohio State game, and it just kind of got away from them. Indiana can play with Ohio State. Indiana can play. They could win a game in this playoff series. I think Indiana's a real football team. It's just Ohio State, I think, is one of the 4 teams that could actually win the trophy.
Well, I mean, all of the arguments about, well, who have you beaten, and all of that. It's just when there's 2 more losses, when 3 losses to 1 loss, to me, I think it can trump the idea of who those losses have come to. I mean, these are the rules that all of these schools agreed to, and I still think it doesn't. The SEC this year has no great team. I don't think there is a great team in the SEC this year. There's good teams. There's some very good teams, but there is no great team that I think you can point to and identify as like an obvious national champion. I wonder if you can in the Big Ten with Oregon and Ohio State, and the fact that we're not quite sure, against the quality of competition. I guess that's what the playoff is going to be about, but. It's just 11-1 is better than 9-3. It's better than 10-2. I think that should actually mean something. The team that gets away with this, and Vanderbilt could do the funniest thing on Saturday. By beating Tennessee, then everybody in the SEC will at least have, potentially 3 losses outside of Texas. Georgia potentially, if they lose in the SEC championship game. Then you could have an entire league that's saying, we're the best. And I agree, if you look at talent level, the SEC is the best conference in college football and has been for years. There's going to be more players coming out of this league into the NFL this next year, and to me that means something. But that doesn't necessarily – look, we're not playing the NFL right now. This isn't who wins at the combine. This is who wins on a football field. And it's about actually, putting that talent together and then figuring out a way to beat the other team across from you. So does it matter that Ole Miss spent all this money and has the kind of roster that might be the most talented roster in Ole Miss history? They might actually be able to go out and beat any of the teams that's out there. But the fact that they've lost to who they've lost to and that they have 3 losses, that discounts them. It's the same with Alabama. It discounts them. You got to win the games that are out there in front of you, especially if they're unranked at this point of the season. Forget who had a win over Oklahoma when they were ranked. Was it Texas? When they played in the Red River rivalry, they can count that as a ranked win, okay? Oklahoma has really struggled in the SEC. So that's a bad loss for Alabama. I actually heard this is potentially one of the worst losses in their program history. I think it's the first time that they've lost on the road to as a top 10 team to an unranked team. But I forget if Vanderbilt was right. See, we're actually comparing road losses for Alabama now, which should say something. Discounted. Out. It's the chaos is really amazing. To now where you have to accept that the ACC teams that we've been tossing aside, SMU, Miami, Clemson, thinking it's a 1-bid league. ACC right now looks like they very well have 2 teams get in. The Big 12 is going to get 1. I think the ACC may get 2, and you may end up with just 3 in the SEC.
Phil, who? So when the committee comes out tomorrow, and that's something we'll be able to talk about. Who's the second-ranked SEC team by the committee's eyes? Is it Tennessee?
I have no idea. I don't know who the best team in this league. I really don't.
Because Texas is going to be the first-ranked SEC team, but who do they have as the? Is it Georgia or is it Tennessee? I mean, because it can't be Alabama.
No, it can't be Alabama. I mean, if I had a vote, I guess I'd say Georgia. But it's just right now you get teams that are losing games and you think, how does this happen? I mean, you get Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss losing to Kentucky, and then they get mad and angry for a couple of games after losing to LSU, and they blow some teams out, and then they go lay an egg at Florida against a program that had their head coach basically fired by everybody before the season started. And now it turns out, hey, he might have actually done a good job because maybe they have a playmaking quarterback. Think of where we were talking about LSU a few weeks ago. Now they beat Vanderbilt, and it's like, oh, all right, well, look, now LSU and Vanderbilt have fairly similar resumes. This is just a crazy season, Matt, but I guess it's all good because the chaos means you're going to end up with programs that we've never seen compete for a national championship before. It'll be a good thing. But I guess we just accepted or expected that the SEC would have 2 teams, 3 teams that stand out from the rest. Texas right now, because of their record, does. But the next 4 or 5 teams, nobody stands out. And it feels almost like they're defined by those teams are defined by, head-scratching losses more than big-time wins.
Every game Texas plays from here on out is going to be just like the Georgia game. They're about to play A&M, then they're going to play for the SEC championship game, and then every playoff game is going to be tough. If Texas wins it all, they earned it. 100% they earned it. This South Carolina Clemson game that's coming up this weekend, it doesn't even mean anything. Like, neither one of those teams get a chance to make it in the playoff 12. What a big game is that. I mean, that's going to be a huge game.
Yeah, and the chance of South Carolina finishing with a 6-game winning streak, having a 9-3 record, maybe the same record as Alabama, maybe even the same record as Texas A&M, and maybe somebody on the committee is going to try to find a spot for the Gamecocks.
Hey, when you're hot, man. They 6 in a row. I think that momentum, I think that has to account for something.
And then there's Arkansas, bowl eligible, playing who knows who and who knows where. But I'll tell you what, it'd be a much better bowl game if you beat Missouri on Saturday. And, yeah, I mean, look, when it comes right down to it, this is a game you got to win. You got to beat Missouri. You got to beat them on the road. Mizzou's not having the kind of season I think they expected to. But look, I guess if I were to pick a team each year, I want them to beat A&M. I want them to beat LSU, Ole Miss every time they play them. But there's something about Missouri, and maybe drink is part of it, but it just might be that it's Missouri, and they've just been the dominant team over Arkansas since they joined the SEC, and to me it doesn't make any sense. You got to win this game. It's almost like this is a bowl game, to be honest, because it's a chance to play in a better bowl game if you win, and then you'll actually get to take this trophy home. Don't snicker at the trophy, because I think it means something to those players. This game has to mean something to the Arkansas players coming up on Saturday. All right, halftime on a Monday. We need your calls and texts throughout the show. We'll be talking with Mike Irwin, Pig Trail Nation, after Sam Pittman's press conference. That'll be 1:15 in the afternoon. About an hour from now, we do 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center, and nobody coming up after the break. So you can call us or text us anytime you want throughout this first hour. We'll get you right on the air. 877-377-6963, and halftime is right back after this.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
This is halftime. Don't miss Hungry Action after every football game. Brought to you by Bud Light. Also presented by Black Hills Energy.
Matt, is it that simple? Is it just they got to get better players, or do you see some coaching issues too?
We have some talent on this team, that's for sure. It was just something that happened early where we got a 4th down stop, and then all of a sudden they get a turnover touchdown, and it just kind of ballooned in the second quarter.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Adventure Oklahoma by Auto Finders is your one-stop shop for adventure. Plus, no one else includes a standard 5-year warranty on all ATVs. It's the all-cylinder sales event. Rebates up to $1,500 and financing as low as 0.99% on select moto side-by-sides and ATVs. Payments as low as $99 per month with approved credit. Visit cfmotousa.com. CF Moto, ride without compromise. Visit Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. Brought to you by Auto Finders. AutoFindersOK.com. Adventure Dave says your journey starts here. CF Moto cares about your safety, so read your owner's manual before operating, and be sure to ask us about rider training.
Even though the holidays are almost here, there is still time to get results for your body with a personal trainer right here in the River Valley from Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill. Your choice for the results you want. Black Friday buy one, get one personal training specials. And new members get the rest of the year for free. Even more Black Friday specials to choose from. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill on 71 North. Ask about our giveaway from our partner, First Form and Vortex Optics. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill. Ready to help you train for the body you deserve. Anytime Fitness, Rye Hill.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
This is Ty from ESPN Arkansas. Join me Wednesday, November 27th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Square Pie Pizza Company inside Choctaw Casino. Come out and enjoy the very best Detroit-style pizza, hoagies, and delicious appetizers. Enjoy some great food. Hit the gaming room for the best entertainment in the River Valley. Wednesday, November 27th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Square Pie Pizza Company inside Choctaw Casino. Choctaw Casino. This is how Pensacola plays.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Nobody cares where you're from. We wanna have some more fun. Anybody can tell ya. Will you remember tomorrow when the thought perishes and you forget she's up on the ladder? Is there anyone matter? She's the best
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, wasn't the prettiest game. Kind of a really ugly first quarter, first half. Kind of left you scratching your head a little bit. Just too many penalties. 5 in the first quarter, 1 to wipe out. A 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Rodney Hill. Talon had some struggles here and there, but ended up with 4 touchdowns, 2 in the air, 2 on the ground. Missed some open receivers, and yeah, that does trouble you a little bit, but that will happen. 20 out of 37 passing, 221 yards. It was just kind of an up and down game for him. But when he runs the way that he runs, 6 times for a couple of touchdowns, the 41-yard highlight. I thought he played well enough. Defense played really well up until maybe allowing 14 points in the second half to a team that really wasn't able to move the ball against them at all until you got into about late in the fourth quarter. But I'm a little worried about the special teams after this one. There were some issues. I mean, you had a couple of fake kicks. The field goal that went for a first down, the punt that went for a first down, the second muffed punt of the season, and what's the other one? I hate when you got to remember what some of these penalties or what are these some of these mistakes are, because 4 in the special teams in one game is a lot. Oh yeah, it would be the holding that wipes out the best way you can start a game, kickoff return for a touchdown. Kind of feel like La Tech's coach did Arkansas a favor by going forward deep in their own, not deep in their own territory, 27-yard line in the third quarter. At that point, I mean, it's still a close enough game. You can try to play field position. And they go for it. Arkansas stops them, and then one play later, you get a touchdown strike to Tesla. Tesla had a nice game, Matt. 2 touchdowns on 2 catches, and Armstrong gets over 1,000. I think he's the 7th all-time to do it, 4th all-time with 1,012 yards in a single season. And Isaiah Satania also, I thought, outside of the muff punt, played well and is a legitimate second option now. So I feel like something's at least gotten a little better with the passing game, in that Armstrong's your man, but Sategna has become somebody that they're certainly looking to as the number 2 guy.
Man, I'm telling you, a lot of numbers out there. You don't want. I mean, it's like we can't have a clean game. Every game we have a turnover in it.
3 of them actually, like, win a game losing the turnover battle too.
It's,
something you don't want to just get used to. Unfortunately, the turnovers become a defining aspect of the season, even in this win.
Proud of Dubinion. Everybody that, it's not a lot on our show, but it seems like the last couple of weeks there's been a little bit of this talk on our show, but now everybody can just hush about it because they can tell that the backup quarterback's not going to play. If the backup quarterback didn't play in this game, everybody can see it. He's the backup for a reason.
Well, it'll be interesting going into to bowl.
I'm happy that we're going to be bowl eligible this season, man. I'm not happy with how the Louisiana Tech game went. It was just a sloppy offensive performance. Yeah, I'm happy Dubinion went for 100, man. But I have higher expectations for the Razorbacks. Whenever you see a team like Auburn, who's played pathetic, they played horrible this season. They went out, they got a big win against A&M. They have a possibility to finish their season with a win over Bama. I wanted the Razorbacks. There were several opportunities this season right here where everybody's down, where we didn't capitalize on the chances, but teams like Florida did. and some of these other teams. You got South Carolina playing the best ball right now in the country. I'll take South Carolina in a game against pretty much everybody. That South Carolina Clemson game this weekend is huge because Clemson can still get into the playoff. They've already clinched a berth to their conference championship game. So, man, that's what I'm looking at. And right now I'm hoping we can just go out and finish strong against Missouri, man, and have a good showing. But against SEC teams, we have not played good at all. So hopefully we can get some offense going against Missouri and get a W, man. That's all I'm hoping for, and that we can go win a bowl game. That's it. And hopefully take that momentum in the next season. That's all I'm hoping for the Razorbacks. Another thing is, on a different note, we don't know how this playoff is going to shake out. A lot of people giving Michigan zero chance to beat Ohio State, but people got to remember, the last few games Ohio State was favored, and they lost against Michigan. So I'm hoping some crazy chaos happens, guys.
Well, yes. I mean, even last week, Juwan, I discounted the idea of Auburn, this year's Auburn team beating Alabama, but I'm not going to do that now. I don't think you can't get away with that now. Not with the fact that Alabama is no good on the road, no matter it is who they play. So yeah, I can't discount that. I think it's certainly within the realm of possibility. I don't know if I give Florida State a chance to beat Florida, though, because that's, it's been a different thing.
They gave up. But yeah, once you get to about week 7, week 8, I mean, it really does. It just comes down to a couple plays a game. I mean, you kind of know what you're going to do. You know your assignment. Look at the Carolina Panthers and the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday. It kind of comes down to the end. Once you kind of get this late in the season, man, you kind of know who you are. You kind of know a couple things that you can do.
Juwan, it's good to hear from you. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. 877-377-6963. Yeah, I mean, it's odd because it was a 21-point win, but I know a lot of folks would walk away thinking it's just that first half would leave you remembering the first half instead of the second half. It's just it took a while to get the offense going. I mean, it really did. You didn't really get it moving until like a little past halfway through the second quarter, and turnovers were a reason why. And I think you remove the final score from the idea of those first 20 minutes or the first half of the game, but in the second half I thought they played a lot better, moved the ball a lot better. I will say it's like, you can't continue with the slow starts at home. It's not like you got to worry about that anymore because there aren't any more home games. But it was indicative again of something that you've seen in the last 2-3 years of struggling at home, no matter who it is, early in a game. You pull away against Rice, you pull away against UAB in the fourth quarter, you pull away against Louisiana Tech, but fans show up when you're playing a team out of Conference USA, Matt, and I think they expect it's going to be 35-0 at halftime. And maybe it should be in some cases, but I thought that was a better Louisiana Tech team than some people thought. And look, Arkansas just hasn't played well early in games at home.
Hey, you won the game. You won the game. Hopefully, everybody. I don't know the injury reports. We're going to need all our bullets. I don't know if Braylon Russell's healthy now. If Jaquindon Jackson's healthy. I like our matchup against Armstrong. I've said this. I think he's a first team all. I know some people might not vote for him because he doesn't have the touchdowns, but I think he's a first team, at worst, second team. There's not 4 receivers, and now I think they might put 3 on each team, so that would be 6 receivers. But it's going to, Phil, if we have 3 turnovers, we're going to get beat. We
against an SEC team.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless you create 4 turnovers defensively.
Gotta clean it up on the turnovers. That's the thing that kind of disappoints me the most is when you're playing. Now, can you carry that over? Can you get rid of it, or is that just our MO this year? But we need to play a clean game against Missouri.
Hey, you know how I am by now. I mean, it's independent of what you are, what your record says. The fumbles are a problem, and the turnovers are a major problem for Arkansas this year, and there's just no other way about it. 25 times the ball has dropped to the floor, in a fumble. That's a lot. That's a lot. You got to do something about that. But now you are what you are.
That's a Mark Price.
But you're also 6-5, a chance to go 7-5, and you won only 4 games last season. So it's a chance to also show that it's a better football team than last year.
Maybe we can get to Scotty Thurman in these next 2 games. That's what.
Just stay away from the 30s, man.
Please.
I do not need to be hearing about any Larry Bird or anything like that.
Reggie
when it comes
Miller.
to these fumbles. No, please, none of that. And no Hank Aaron either. There's no reason to ever get into anywhere near the 40s anytime soon. 877-377-6963. Halftime is back right after this.
This is halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Are you tired of processed meat and flimsy sandwiches? Subchain's gotten to your last nerve? Then I have the place for you. Come see my buddy Josefa at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. Locally sourced meat sliced daily and fresh breads from Harvest Moon Bakery. Daily specials announced on Facebook, including the Poke Bowl every Friday and Saturday. For to-go orders, call 479-567-3403.
My name is Lily. My Baba makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
At Our Best Bank, we believe in the power of community. That's why we recognize, serve, and support communities of all kinds. From small towns to big cities, business startups to large companies, young families to seniors, and those with shared backgrounds and interests. We value your contributions and are proud to work alongside you because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank. We believe.
Over the river and through the woods, to Sallisaw we go. Mock Legal Solutions is opening a second location to serve our Eastern Oklahoma clients. 105 East Chickasaw. For divorce and custody, let us give you the Christmas gift of a new start. And for personal injury, we will get you a settlement check when Grandma gets run over by that reindeer. 918-238-2363. Or check out our website at mocklegalsolutions.com. Free intakes and payment plans available. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Finding your joy in cycling is the main goal at Champion Cycling. Champion Cycling takes pride in helping you find the right bike. Whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure, Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands like Specialized Surly and Salsa. Need service or repair? The friendly, professionally trained technicians will assess your bike's needs and provide you with a free, no-obligation estimate. Find your joy in cycling at Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazur Road in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Stay home, feel good. Looking at the breeze blow. Shivers in my spine, caught in my brain. Melts me like butter. Melts me like butter.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt, I'm the worst dad in the world. You want to know why? Today is obviously it's the first day of Thanksgiving break for the kids. Get a text from a kid's mom this morning. My son had, and I didn't know this, had a pediatrician's appointment, so I had to wake him up early. This is the kid who can sleep until like 1 PM. It's like a talent. It's a real talent. I'm a little worried sometimes that I have to like shake him or jump on him up and down in order to wake him up. So I had to wake him up at 8:30. The kid could have gone until at least when the show is over, and maybe that would be a good thing because it'd be quieter here. First thing he asked me when I said, you have a pediatrician appointment. Do I have shots? I don't know. No, you don't. Guess what? He did.
Oh.
Poor kid. I mean, come on. It's the Monday of Thanksgiving week, and he's getting needles stuck into him. Come on now. Can't we be better than this? Well, it's important stuff for him to worry about here. 877-377-6963. And I'll feed him later on in the day, too. You know, Eduardo, what's going on? Happy Monday and happy Thanksgiving week. How are you?
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, sir. That's why I called in today to wish you and Matt, just the entire Hog Nation, a very happy Thanksgiving. You know me. You've heard me talk about moments in time. Certainly, this is a special time. Even happy Thanksgiving to Brian and Ozark. You know what I mean? Special time to gather with family and friends. And, you know, I bet you didn't see that coming from Eddie from Clarksville, but it really is to all to really enjoy those moments. Certainly, I've been blessed. I mean, I want you to think about something just briefly for a moment. I've been aboard the Hog Train since 1971, and that's, and I've seen all the coaches and teams play. And so for this team, this game coming up Saturday, you know, this is a game I fully expect us to win. And this is one of the teams in the programs year in and year out I expect us to beat. And so they can do that if they bring two things to Missouri. You know what's at stake at this Missouri game? Not only would you have an opportunity to get to 7-5, not only will you beat a team you haven't beaten and competed very well against, but to be the first Arkansas team to beat them in Columbia, but to bring that, you know, that battle line rivalry choke back to Fayetteville would be huge for our program and our fan base. And then you'd have an opportunity maybe to go to a very good second-tier bowl. But, I mean, that's what's at stake. And so I hope the team goes play passionately. And that's what it's going to take. The offensive line certainly don't have to do one of the best blocking performances of the year. And certainly the right side of our line, I don't know what to tell them. You know what I mean? Put the mascot out there if you have to, for God's sakes. But you can't allow them to come in and hit your quarterback. I mean, and so if you come play with passion, we can win this game. If you don't, one thing we can't afford to do is get our doors blowed off. And so they blowed our doors off in Fayetteville. I think it's time to go pay them back on their home field. How about that? And if you don't do that,
Eddie. No, keep going. I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop the momentum you got going.
But no, and so I'll leave you with this. You know, my grandson, Matthias, boy, he has a special place in my heart. He won't be forward to December. Somebody handcrafted me a whistle at the D.C., made it handmade. Said, Eddie from Clarksville, blow the whistle. I hope I want to give that whistle to him Saturday after the game and let him blow it all over the place. So that's what it's all about. Your fan base, baby. Thank you for taking my call. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Let's go beat the Tigers.
Very good, Eddie. That was concise, well thought out, reasoned, phone call, that sounded like debonair, Eduardo in Clarksville. Not the Sherpa hiking up the mountain, that's for sure.
Illinois might be who we get in a bowl game. I could see that coming to fruition if we beat Missouri. Wisconsin, another team, but Illinois, I think they're up there on the cusp that they're not going to make it, but they're a decent Big Ten team. That could be the Coach Bielema ties. You got a couple other Arkansas coaches up there on that staff. That could be a real game.
So all right, Ryan in Prairie Grove sends in this text. This is where the rivalry really starts to become one. And it's because Arkansas has been the lesser of the teams, not just on the field in these last 12 years with Mizzou joining the league, but also overall in terms of, who's won more games, who's been a more successful program. Ryan says, Phil, I hate Missouri. Now, Ryan, how long did it take you to get there? Because we keep hearing, and I think it's true to a point, is that Arkansas hasn't bought into that rivalry. I don't know if it's the players necessarily that haven't, but on the results, maybe that says so. Is it the fans that haven't? Because we look down our nose at Mizzou while losing games to them. So how long did it take you to get there? And who else out there? Because it can't just be Ryan in Prairie Grove. Who else out there hates Missouri? 877-377-6963. Where does that rank to for you, Ryan? Where does it rank for you? Does it, in terms of the other teams that you play, maybe not on an annual basis anymore? I mean, you can't put it ahead of Texas, right? He says he's sick and tired of them. I think Drinkwitz is one reason why. You see, he was shouting at Mississippi State during, I think it was late in the game, that if they didn't shut up, they were going to score again. I think he dropped an F-bomb in it as well. I mean, he's somebody that if he was your coach, you might scratch your head a little bit, but you'd probably love that he pokes the bear. But anybody else in the SEC, they got a gun for him, and I feel it's like, yes, you want to beat that coach too. Just almost one of the reasons because of the way he acts. But hey. He's bought in. Will and DeQueen has bought in. He says he hates Mizzou. So there it is. You win a game on Saturday. It's feels like it'll go a long way to feeling like you've taken a step forward. You can point to the number of wins. You can point to making a bowl game.
It'd be our second bowl team of the year to beat.
That's another ask. What about beating a team that you've struggled to beat or even compete against in some cases? And Eddie said, don't get blown out. No, don't lose this game. Go win this. This isn't a matter of don't get blown out. Go win this game. It's not like the season hinges on it, but 4-4 in the SEC looks a heck of a lot better than 3-5 in the SEC. Doesn't it? I mean, to go from 1-7 to 4-4 in the league, 500 in this league is tough to do. And I feel it would be it's not a matter of don't get blown out. Last year I was worried, just don't get blown out. Because, you knew the season was over when the game ended, and then it ended up, you could tell on the field, nobody really cared all that much. They were just looking to get it done with. That's not now. That is not right now. There's more to play for, and I think a lot more to play for, along with the pride of being able to look up at your record when the season's over and say, we were that much better than last year. I think it's a huge game.
Is this Coach Pittman's 5th year as the head hog ball coach?
That's right.
How many times what's his record versus Missouri?
1 win.
Okay, so he knows we've done it once at least. Okay, all right. That gives me a little more confidence.
Well, and that was also, that was the game that capped off the regular season in 21. Burks went off, had a huge game. We knew that was his send off because he would opt out for whatever bowl game, and that was your 8th win. And just, remember that year you beat LSU on the road, you beat A&M, you beat Missouri. These are not games Arkansas is winning on a routine basis. Not this year either. So to get one of those games, at least one of them, knowing that it's a team that you will be playing every year until the end of time, it's pretty damn important. And they're all coming in. Nate says it. Chris says it. Ryan says it again. Matt Blackston says it. B.E. says it. Will says everybody. They all hate Missouri. Did you feel like that 5 years ago? right? I mean, has it taken a little bit of time to get there? Because we all want to watch football Thanksgiving weekend. We want to watch 3 games Thursday in the NFL. You want to watch your Black Friday game. You want to watch your Egg Bowl. You want to watch the Iron Bowl. You want to watch these, Ohio State, Michigan, Arkansas, Missouri. So you want to watch a lot of football on Thanksgiving weekend. And it can't just be, well, they're just Missouri, so it doesn't matter very much. So you're going to play them every single year. They whether you like it or not, they're part of this league. You got to go find a way to beat them, and continuously losing to a team to the north, and then wondering also about, well, why are some of our best players in the state going up there to play for them? NIL is going to be a reason why, but they're beating you on the football field too. Casey from Lincoln hates Missouri and drinks so bad. See, I mean, I feel it's all coming in. It's like a little bit of like a pent up hatred that you wanna jump up and scream about it, but when you lose a game to them each year, it's tough. I think it's tough to express it. All right, we got a break here on halftime. We got lots to get to, including a reminder about Pradco Fishing Lures. When you're fishing cold water bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, might be fishing for that trophy brown on the Mighty White, you got to have the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue with you because of the famous rolling action when you fish it slow or fast in heavy current. The Rogue suspends. It's in the strike zone longer. You catch more fish. Find it at Walmart, Bass Pro, Academy, LearnNet, and tackle stores all over the place. Back to wrap up our first hour of halftime in a moment.
Connor, all I'll say is truck, yeah.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911 in addition to AOG. Remember, if you smell gas, act fast and always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Do you want to do something unconventional this holiday season? Hey, Ty Richardson for New Myers Rib Room and Beer Garden, where they are catering anything that they have on their menu at the Rib Room. Take advantage of incredible ribs, smoked wings, tamales, barbecue, and more. Call them at 479-494-7427. Stop in and see Joe, Linda, and their entire team at 424 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. The New Myers wish you a very happy Thanksgiving.
Here with Grant Neal, General Manager at Rhodes Chevrolet. Grant, it looks like your quality and quantity of pre-owns just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's really getting a lot better, and the reason is because we're selling more new cars. More new inventories rolling in, and with that, we get better trade-ins, which are the highest quality used cars we get. They're all going through our shop, getting a high-quality inspection from our certified technicians, making sure that everything works and it stops, starts, and steers safely, because we want everything out on the lot to be at a high quality. But we have something for everybody, whether you're looking for a cheap set of wheels just to get around, or you need a new primary car for the family, a new truck for work, whatever it is, I promise we're going to have something for you on our pre-owned lot.
What if someone needs financing or doesn't have the best credit? Can you help them?
Absolutely. Our finance director, Robert Good, is an expert at working with the banks. We've had people who said that they'll never be able to buy a car, drive out of here in a brand new set of wheels. And as we know, the Fed just did another cut in rates, so it's only going to get better as the year goes on.
2800 on the highway, Van Buren. It's Rhodes Chevrolet, where we make car buying great again.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Happiness, Missouri, I got to get your mind up. Happiness, Missouri, I got to some minutes. Happiness, Missouri, I got to get your mind. So to be the happiness, Missouri, I got to get your mind.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Go to the phone. Cecil's called us. You can do the same at 877-377-6963. Happy Monday and good morning, Cecil. What's up?
Good morning, fellas. I enjoyed the game Saturday. We started off really slow. I mean, for us getting down there and scoring, but we did we won. We got the W, so we won. But I mean, we really need to win this game. That it's like closure for the season, and I think we can do it. We just don't need to turn the ball over, and just win the game. Win the game. Let's go into basketball and win some games. And our basketball team, we're just young. I mean, the thing about it is we'll be better than we was last year with the team that we have. It's a lot of babies on the team, so they have to gel together. And Calipari gonna get it done. It's just a lot of people expecting him to just to come in and touch it and everything turn to gold. It ain't gonna happen like that. So and then it's about accepting things and moving on. It ain't about when we lose just get on the radio and criticize, the players or the coaches or whatever, But I mean, I have a lot of faith in the basketball team. And we really need to win this game, Phil and Matt. I mean, Missouri has really handled us since we've been playing them, and it's ridiculous, crazy. And
do you think that I feel sometimes that Missouri looks at us more like how we look at Texas, like it kind of means a little bit more to them, like they kind of get up a little bit better than we do for this game.
Diggity, no doubt. I mean, yeah. Arkansas is a great school. I mean, it's hype. Thing about it is the fans travel. Another thing. If we win this game, if we lose the game, we still will get a decent bowl because it's all about putting butts in the seats. University of Arkansas going to do that. The fans going to travel. That's another vacation for me and everybody else. I know that. But if you win seven, the bowl committee, hey, let's take the University of Arkansas, boy. We could probably sell out on them. Because when we played Ohio State down in New Orleans, man, I'll never forget that. I was in the end zone on the third row, and where the fumble first happened at the last drive of the game when we threw the interception and lost. Everything happened right in front of me. I'm like, wow. But when we did the Wade Madden field, it went 85 or 90% of the stadium. That shit. Oh, excuse my French. That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that stuff was unbelievable, Cecil, and it's good to hear from you, man. Thank you very much. Good start to the Monday here. At least it was 54 minutes in. Love you, Cecil. We'll take your call next time you come in as well. Yeah, I guess that stuff was a little unbelievable. How about 13 bowl eligible, potentially 14 bowl eligible SEC teams?
Well, right now we're still ranked above Oklahoma. So if we could win this, I don't know what Oklahoma's going to do, but that's kind of who you'd be fighting for. As far as your poll positioning.
Like the SEC is not contracted with 14 bowls.
Is Vanderbilt 6 too? So are they at 6?
Vanderbilt's got 6.
Auburn's going for 6. So and like you just said, you don't know. Alabama doesn't play well on the road.
I think it'd be interesting to see if Vanderbilt's fans would travel down the street to the Music Bowl.
They get them at home though. Bama gets them at home.
But yeah, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. Now that could end up being a game that really has some big things going on. Don't discount Vanderbilt and a 3-loss Tennessee team. Probably not a playoff team either. Hour number 2 coming up after the break. Keep it clean.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Jam Mart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. Jam Mart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero Jam Mart locations. And stop by any of the 6 Jam Mart locations in the area. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
The best things never change, they just get better. Like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Choose from juicy charbroiled double cheeseburgers, melty hot ham and cheeses, or hand-breaded chicken tender wraps. 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. There's no skimping in this bag. No junior burgers or tiny nuggies, just full-size goodness for big-time value. The $6.99 Original Bag, only at Hardee's. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jasco?
Logos, we do food trucks, cars, we do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jasco. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly sunny skies, slight chance of seeing a shower across the south. Temperatures will be falling from the 60s to 50s north, from 70 into the 60s south. Mainly clear to partly cloudy, overnight lows in the 30s tonight, and then sunshine highs in the 50s on Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that would respect it. If I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Jones, take it to
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What angle one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back into our second hour. 1 minute after noon on halftime. Gray, cloudy skies abounding. Maybe you're out there traveling to visit family, or maybe you're trying to find a way to get away from everything this week. Not everybody does the togetherness thing when it comes to Thanksgiving. I know some folks who rent a cabin out in, well, where you'd put a cabin, like up on top of a mountain somewhere, and just sort of be for a few days. Enjoy the quiet. Like that's the direction Aaron Rodgers, I think, would go for Thanksgiving. Find the quietest, darkest cabin. I don't think the Jets are playing Thursday or Friday. I don't think Rodgers will be playing for the Jets next year, or maybe anywhere, and kind of get away from it all. And doesn't have to do turkey. Heck, you could fast the entire day Thursday. Make it a completely antithetical to the way everybody else is celebrating it, huh?
Well, there's this new fad called yogging. Maybe you could get out there and get you a 30-minute jog in. I don't know. Apparently, it's just you kind of move for an extended amount of time until you get tired and then you stop. So I think everybody's kind of starting to do it, but that would be something you could do.
Nobody calls it jogging anymore. I think they say it's running, and it used to that. Nobody's really running, because to me, running is sprinting. Running is sprinting. Anything that's about half that level is jogging. So that's really what you're doing until you sprint at the end when that last quarter of a mile. But is anybody really doing that on Thursday? You're supposed to be going out and beating the crap out of your buddy in football and turkey bowl. And has anybody tried to sign you up to play for their turkey bowl teams, Matt?
What's your best holiday bowl, yard bowl game? How many of those did you have growing up? We had a couple of those in college. You'd go up there to the softball field. It'd be snowing, and all of a sudden there'd be 20 of us out there just playing a touch football game that ends up being tackle because there's so much snow on the ground.
So now you'd be used to playing the tackle football, not me. So we'd go out there. We do it about every year with a few of my friends when I was a teenager, and then into college we did it as well. And yeah, there was some blood on the snow. My blood on the snow, since I'm a bleeder when it comes to nosebleeds. And I was playing against a group of guys from another house that all played rugby.
Ooh.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Matt, you don't do that either. Don't ever go out there and play what you think's going to be touch football with a bunch of rugby players, because they don't know how to just touch. They really don't. But even so, I don't know how to tackle anybody. I don't know how to break any tackles either. But I sure knew how to stand around and make smart-ass comments to everybody while they were doing it. 877-377-6963. And I do the same thing all these years later.
Yeah, that's one of whenever you have Thanksgiving dinner, you got to go play catch of some kind, whether it's a Frisbee, whether it's a football, whether it's a bat or a glove and ball. But you gotta go do a little something, because when the Cowboys play, did the Cowboys play the Giants on Thanksgiving?
Well, I don't know I know they're playing.
That'd be when you could take your nap. Then other times you go get your little exercise in.
At some point, I'm going to need, maybe not now, but I'm going to need this hour, since it's the last hour he does it. I'm going to need C. Cowboy to explain to me what happened in the Cowboys-Washington game in the last, 4 minutes yesterday?
Pure chaos.
But don't do it. Yeah, don't do it now. I was in the middle of a women's game at Bud Walton Arena, so I have no clue what happened in that. But Charlie, I'm sure, was watching, but he's got something else to talk to us about here. I'm guessing. Charlie, good afternoon and happy Monday. What's up?
But you said I got to keep it clean, Phil. I got to keep it clean.
You always keep it clean. Always.
Well, you know what? Pure chaos. Exactly what Cowboy said there. That's what happened in that game in the fourth quarter. C Unit, am I right? Was it 41 points combined by both teams?
Yeah, it was like 13-9 late in the fourth, and then it ended 34-26.
It just went crazy.
Yeah.
It's like everybody went crazy. I tell you what, the amount of special team botches in that game yesterday was almost comical to watch. That's what you miss, Phil. I think they broke a record too. It was like the first time between two teams there have been like 2 blocked field goals, 2 or a blocked punt, a return kickoff, I mean, it was insane. Both special team coaches are pulling their hair out if they have any left, and it was not a good day for either of the special teams. But then there were some good moments.
When McLaurin scored that touchdown, you thought we were going to lose, didn't you?
I thought they were going to go for 2. I thought that's
I here we go again.
I thought they were going to go for. I was watching that. I was like, surely they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, I did and then also the fact that they were having issues with the snap. I think the snap was off on that last one, but I am not.
Yeah, it was off.
Sure
It was off, and then he pulled it a little bit. I think that was his first extra point he had missed all year.
It's crazy. And then the Cowboys, heck, I mean, Aubrey's been great, but Matt, you played up on that field. Is there some? I've heard that it's not the greatest at this time of the year. I guess you played on it. It's not a good field to play on, especially at this time of the year. Is that a field that you kind of got to wear those cleats, kind of like if you're playing in a rain game or a snow game or whatever? And before I get off here, I was looking at the SEC standings, and I'm like, does this not look like a SEC basketball standings like finish? There's going to be at least 14 or maybe 14 teams if Auburn beats Alabama somehow. 14 teams bowl eligible from the SEC this year. That's insane to think about. I mean, the parity in this league, I don't know if it's ever.
It's 13 now. You need Auburn to beat Alabama to get to a 14.
Auburn's got to get lucky. Anyways, I'll have a good one.
Yeah, and you're not contracted for 14 bowl games. You get I'd assume 3 into the playoff, and then the Citrus Bowl takes the next best SEC team. Then you get your group of 6 bowls, and now we're at, what is that? That's 12, and you just got 4 other spots. So there's Gasparilla and Birmingham, which is ESPN events, lower level, and then there's still two other teams potentially. We even had somebody text in asking Mark asked, what about the idea of matching up 2 SEC teams that didn't play each other in a bowl game? But I don't think they'll go in that direction. But there may end up being a team or 2 that has 6 wins in FBS football that does not get a bowl game. They're not going to be an SEC team because that would be, I think there would be a giant hole that swallows up the southeastern portion of the United States before an SEC team with 6 wins is held out of the postseason, especially in a year where you don't have 4 going to the playoff.
Memphis and Tulane, those would be a couple teams that would be popular picks for that bowl because they're regional. I could see in Arkansas playing one of those teams if you ended up at a bowl like that because Memphis and Tulane. Now you wonder who all opts out, but Memphis has a quarterback that can play on Sundays, and Tulane has a running back that can. So they got a couple nice pieces.
I would just rather know that if you win this game, that you're going to be playing in one of those 6 bowl games that would be, where are they? It's Tampa, ReliaQuest, there's the Gator, Music City.
There hasn't
Vegas.
been one thing. There hasn't been one thing this year, Phil, that makes you think that says, you know what, if I'm reading the tea leaves, if I'm looking at this Arkansas Razorback team, that says we're going to go up and beat Missouri. Not one thing.
Well, all right, couple of road wins, bad teams, Mississippi State and Auburn. But a win over Auburn on the road, they just beat A&M at home. You lost to A&M. All this is so, roundabout. You get teams beating other teams that doesn't make any sense, and then you look at, well, how did Auburn, you beat Auburn. Well,
is Brady Cook healthy?
He played. Yeah, he's healthy, and so is Luther Burden.
It'd probably be one of the if we have 3 turnovers, we'll lose by 14, 17 points. We got to play a clean game. Missouri's a real football team, man. That's a real good football team with a good quarterback. We're gonna get a running back to go for over 100 yards. We're gonna have 0 turnovers. We're gonna play special on special teams. I don't know. We had the consistency, something we've struggled with all year.
Yeah, and Burden's a different thing than I think what you faced with Texas in terms of their receivers. I mean, that's a guy that can just flat out beat you with his speed and not even worry about any kind of a move. So it is a different thing. But I mean, you gotta go back and say, look, I mean, somebody said, well, I forget who called in earlier and said we haven't done anything at home, or they just continuously play very poorly against SEC teams. It was Juwan beat Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee didn't play well that game, but Arkansas, for me, is the reason why they didn't play very well.
Defense played lights out.
That's right. I mean, so that is a win against a team
You know
that
what?
is probably in the playoff.
Our defense
that can't
travels.
be discounted.
Yeah, no, our defense travels. If we can hold Texas to 20 points, we can hold Missouri to 20 points. That's
Yeah, but what about the defense that allowed 63 to Ole Miss or 25 to Mississippi State? It's like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like you're not quite sure, what it is that you can bank on.
Landon Jackson's last ever game in the Razorback uniform.
Well,
let's
all right.
go out there and have a good one.
How about the guys who have been around the program for as long as Jackson has? Someone like Hudson Clark, like Eric Gregory, like Jackson, just to name three of them. They were around last year for the embarrassing loss to Missouri that closed out the season. I will never forget this either, Matt, and you were so right about it. I was here, this was almost about exactly a year ago, and I'm trying to figure out, well, what about if they think about this and motivated by that, and if they can do this? You just looked at me through our FaceTime. It's just like, Phil, they're not beating Missouri. You said it like that, and it was so obvious the moment the ball was kicked that it just wasn't going to happen. Those guys were on that team last year, and they decided to come back here. And I don't know, it's like the pride that they obviously have in being a Razorback, and Jackson had his own reasons for coming back. I think Gregory and Clark obviously where else were they going to go for the last year? Maybe there was somewhere to go, but this is where they wanted to play. This is a chance to end your last regular season, and it's the last game Jackson's ever going to play at Arkansas. Do you expect he plays a bowl game?
No. If you're a top 100 pick, if I'm the head coach and I'm advising players and I'm having a relationship and I tell these players that I'm doing them the right way and I promise their mom I'm going to look after them, there's no way a kid that's going to be a top 100 pick he's like, hey, son, you've done all you can for this program. We're going to support you in your ways going forward, because that would be a heartbreaker for him to go out there in a standalone. We know how we see this game. This game is for Taylon Green to improve. This game is for Centennia to improve. This game is for Anthony. This game is for Braylon Russell to improve. This game is for other players that are coming back next year to contribute. That's what you want to see in the bowl game. If you're a top 100 pick, now I don't know. Maybe everybody's a little bit different, but it's like, hey, we got to protect it. Thank you for your service. Come be a part of it. We want you there on the sidelines, and you're part of this team. But you don't need your helmet today.
Hey, don't forget about Andy's Frozen Custard when you got the family coming over this week for Thanksgiving. Take home a pick 6, or heck, why not buy 2 of those and make it a pick 12? Mix and match 6 or 12 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat at Andy's Frozen Custard. They're in Conway, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive. They're in North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard, and in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk up, drive through, always ready to serve you. We break. We'll have 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center in just a moment.
If you see a possum, try to kill it. It's not a pet.
This is halftime.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Whether you're fishing for
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now.
79763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
Man, that early slate of games, a lot of good games. Phil, congrats to Pittsburgh.
3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, Steve, the door. Said come back sometime when your picture's on the wall. Well, hey, now you gotta get on out and got time to feel your problems. Goddamn, the man been knocking on the door. Said, sonny, what you want? It's on it, put your hands up on the car. When I may not be a talker, but you always know what's going on.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back to Halftime. We've got Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center in there with us in our studio today. Dr. Liggett, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thankful to be here with you guys.
Good, good. How much? He and I've been texting over the last week. He has. You're sooner or later the Steelers will end up becoming your second favorite AFC team behind the Dolphins. With all of the history you're learning about my favorite franchise.
Oh man, the history of the terrible towel is pretty. That's pretty awesome.
Yep. He's learning about Myron Cope, learning about the terrible towel. Those on our video stream can see I do have my towel. I've lost a couple of towels, too, just because I lose things. Like I break sunglasses, I lose keys. Definitely lost a couple of terrible towels. I'd say this one is maybe more like 20, 21 years old.
Myron Cope is hilarious.
Yeah, he is pretty funny. All right, but let's do this as we come in here for our second segment, hour number 2, 3 Up, 3 Down.
Time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
3, good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 Up and 3 Down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
All right, we got 3 things we like, 3 things we don't like. The first thing I like is college football chaos. Makes sense. You know, if it was a 14 playoff, I think you probably have a lot of chaos here. It's just I know we've had a 2-loss national champion in recent years. Wasn't that? I forget what year was LSU a national champion under Les Miles with 2 losses?
I thought one of Nick Saban's was a 2-loss because he didn't make it to the SEC championship game and still won the title.
Well, may end up happening anyway. Who knows? Texas, the only team in the SEC that doesn't have 2 losses. I just love the idea of Vanderbilt beating Tennessee, knocking Tennessee down to 9-3, which means there ain't no guarantee they're going to get in. Probably not going to get in. And then A&M beating Texas, ensuring a 3-loss SEC champion would be really fun. So that if A&M beats Texas, then you'll have 2-loss teams in the SEC championship. A guarantee there'd be a 3-loss team that gets in just because they get an automatic bye. Man, this sounds like it could be a lot of fun.
How much fun has having a 12-team playoff made it? I think that's made it so much more enjoyable.
Well, it's made it. What it's done is it's turned these games in November. They just mean a lot more. You know, we used to poo-poo the league standings. So, whatever about the league standings. It's just to make it to some championship game that doesn't mean anything. And maybe in the future these championship games get discounted, but they're not now. So making it to that game means something, and it makes all these games, Colorado and Kansas, for crying out loud. I mean, that meant something for who's going to get into the playoff. So, I mean, it keeps the conversation going, and it means that there are more teams that can have an impact on the playoff, even if they don't make it. And like Kansas has had this outsized impact in the last 2 games, beating Colorado and BYU. Arkansas has had an impact just with the win over Tennessee. It just involves so many more teams. And it's not just the teams that are competing to get there. It's the teams that are also have an opportunity to play spoiler and have something to celebrate by the end of the season. Got it down for Arkansas special teams. It has to get better. I mean, it's been a couple of muffed punts this year, way early in the season, and now again here against La Tech. You don't see teams fake field goal and punt in the same game very often. But La Tech, obviously, Cumbie was just ready to roll the dice in many ways. And the holding penalty to wipe out. I mean, how would the game have changed if that 99-yard touchdown return by Hill actually stands? So that's got to be cleaned up before this Saturday. And because Missouri's the kind of team that's going to take advantage of those sort of mistakes. Louisiana Tech is not that kind of team. You can't continuously make those kind of mistakes against Division I power programs. So special teams has to get better by Saturday.
Okay, there we go. I'm going to stay with some special teams, and I'm going to go with my first down. My first down of the weekend was I was watching that Washington Commanders Dallas Cowboys game, and man, Jaden Daniels has a little magic. They hit a guy in the seam, couldn't believe it. Scored on the very first play, almost scored too quick. Missed the extra point to lose by 1. Could not believe it.
North Dallas 40 there for you, man.
Man. And then my first up goes to the Kansas Rock Chalk Jayhawks, man. 3 wins in a row. They had played Kansas State, then they had a bye week, and then they played Iowa State, who was ranked number 17. They won 45-36. Then they had to go to BYU, number 6 BYU, won 17-13, and then beat America's second team, the Colorado Buffs, 37-21. Never really was that close. That's 3 straight ranked teams. I don't know if in their program's history they've ever beat 3 straight ranked top 25 teams. So shout out to them.
Doctor, did you have you did. You did your down and then you did your up. All right. Dr. Liggett, what do you got? Number 1.
Number 1, the Hog fans this year have caused a record 16 false starts. It's pretty impressive. We've had good crowds all year. I was pretty impressed with the crowd that we had for the La Tech game. I mean, there's a lot of people there.
You know, the thing I like about that, Dr. Liggett, is that's not about talent. That's about effort. Yeah. This is fan effort. I mean, they're not taking their talents lightly and just resting on the ability to be loud and say, well, we can just do it. You got to give the effort too. So way to go, fans.
Yeah, I looked up and Louisiana Tech had it was the third quarter. Louisiana Tech had 50 rushing yards or 50 total yards. And then half of their rushing yards were on the fake field goal and punt. I mean, our defense played pretty well.
I thought they did too. I think it's an inept offense for the most part.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, it is. It is. What do you got for your first down?
First down, kind of on the Hogs note, we were only 1 of 11 on third down. Can't win games like that. Gotta clean that up.
All right, I got it up here for Arkansas women's basketball. Big bounce back win yesterday at Bud Walton Arena against Arkansas State. Back-to-back blowout losses against UCLA. By the way, UCLA beat South Carolina. I think it's South Carolina's first regular season loss in about a season and a half. That is a really good Bruins team. The Oral Roberts loss obviously was one that hurt, and by 21 points. But I thought it was a great bounce back win against a team that plays a crazy style that you got to have your head on a swivel. And Vera Ojenwa was great with a double-double. Kiki Smith and Izzy Higginbottom played really well. I was impressed with the way that they bounced back, and I think they deserve a big up for that. And then go to Daytona for the next 2 games, Oklahoma State and Bowling Green. Second down is deciding college football games with 2-point conversions in double or triple overtime. That's how the A&M Auburn game was decided. And I get it. I understand the idea of you don't want to play 6, 7, 8 overtimes. We work with somebody here who has done this a couple of times before. But this also goes against the idea of, like in hockey, we decide games through a shootout. In soccer, we decide games through a shootout. We've changed the rules in baseball to put a runner at second. I hate that because it feels like if you're doing 2-point conversions for a win, you might as well do home run derby in extra innings. But Matt, your opinion on 2-point conversions when you do 3 overtimes, and that's the way you got to play it.
Yeah, I understand it for the fatigue factor and for all that. And after 2 overtimes, I get it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What are you going to do, man? You've been playing 4 quarters. You played 2 overtimes. You kind of got to maybe you put the field goal kickers out there and start at 40 and kind of raise it like a pole vault, like you just kick one at 40 and then move it back 5 yards each time and see till somebody misses one.
I like the idea of raising the crossbar about 2 or 3 feet every kick further back. Let's make it a different game now. All right, so that's my second down. What do you guys have next?
All right, my first up, well, I guess it'd be my second up. It goes to the Liverpool Reds. They had a 3-2 victory over Southampton. They got 31 points in the Premier League. Man City is second with 23. They're 8 points clear already, so in clear control. Chelsea and Arsenal sit there at 22 points apiece. And then you get Liverpool hosting the 15-time winners, Real Madrid. That's like Alabama. Coming into town for Champions League on Wednesday. That's going to be pretty cool. The second down goes to the Manchester Citizens, the machine that Pep Guardiola has going on there. He has never lost 5 matches in a row until this year. Man City has just lost their 5th straight matches in all competitions. Wow.
Oh, that's a lot.
They're like the team the Mighty Ducks played. Manchester City, the varsity team.
Be the mean machine.
Mm-hmm.
Or the meat, in the longest yard. Dr. Liggett, you're third. Or your second. That's right.
Yeah.
You go next, second.
Second up, Big Dolphins win yesterday. That makes 2 a 7-0 versus the Patriots.
Whoa.
Which a few years ago, man, never would have dreamed of that. But it puts the Dolphins in the playoff bubble. They're just right on the cusp there. They still got a chance. They got Green Bay on Thanksgiving. Be a big game, but then they've got the Jets twice, the Texans, Cleveland, and the 49ers. So they got a chance with Jonnu Smith really coming on, and Waddle kind of had a breakout game. So maybe a chance for postseason play for the Dolphins.
Wow. Well, once they got Tua back, it feels like anything can be possible, especially in division where if you finish second, you may end up with
they get the Jets on the schedule twice too. So
yeah, that helps. That definitely helps. Second down.
Second down. Daniel Jones getting released after bench. I'm sure he probably asked for that or whatever. But in the last 2 years, he's second to last in pass rating, last in sack percentage, second to last in yards per attempt. Touchdown percentage is last. It's almost like he got paid and then nothing else really, all his numbers fell. So But then you hear guys like Neighbors, the receiver from LSU, that says, "Hey, it's not the quarterback, man. This team's soft." So,
well, it ended up making him a fall guy in that case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that ends up being on the whole organization. And you see, I mean, it may end up where both New York teams, you've already had the Jets just tear the whole thing down.
yeah.
Feels like the Giants need to do the exact same thing. Maybe they need to get the Yankees front office to work with them and the Giants front office. Yankees have been at a high level for a long time. Same market, for crying out loud. What's going on there?
Carolina traded their best running back, Christian McCaffrey, a couple years ago, and they haven't done anything. I mean, the Giants trade their best running. Anytime you're trading like a best all-pro, best player at his position and not really getting anything back. They chose to pay Daniel Jones instead of pay Saquon Barkley. What I mean, I don't even know if they're trying.
That's where I was going with my third up, because it's Saquon Barkley. Battling against the idea of a running back being devalued in today's NFL, and he is winning that argument and doing it in a way that's more productive than the way that Le'Veon Bell did it, which ended up, basically costing him a full season in what should have been the prime of his career. Barkley could have. This is someone that wanted to go out and play, and he's proving. Maybe the point is, if you really feel like running backs grow on trees in the NFL, well, the best running backs don't. They grow at the top of the tree, and he is the best in the NFL right now. Potentially, he's an MVP. Set a Philly franchise record with 255 yards rushing yesterday. He is the 12th player ever with 300-plus scrimmage yards in a single game. He's on pace for over 2,150 rushing yards and currently leads the NFL in yards from scrimmage. Sounds to me like that's an awfully important piece of a potential division winner, and he's incredibly valuable. So I think Saquon Barkley eventually, if Philly's smart about this, makes him the highest paid running back in the league and pay him a premium because he is that good. And my third down, you guys took it, it's the Giants. Now look, in a lot of other situations, choosing the quarterback over the running back can make a lot of sense. But Daniel Jones is not necessarily that quarterback. To pick him over a guy right now looks like he could be have designs on Canton. It's just, man, if you could have one decision back, and would this be the thing that leads the Giants to the playoffs? I don't know, because you need a defense, you need an offensive line and everything, and it's not like the Giants have much of that. But they've lost this argument, and I feel like Saquon Barkley has won the argument. What it means for the rest of NFL running backs, I'm not quite sure. But what I do think it means for the top level of NFL running backs, like Barkley, like McCaffrey, even Derrick Henry, yes, premium for these guys, because running backs don't really grow on trees. Matt, you're up.
No question about it. Just the SEC football. Got to give a shout out to Oklahoma, because I had left them for dead. I didn't think there was any way they were going to make a bowl game this year, and Oklahoma's defense just, stymied Alabama all day. 24-3 victory. And when I didn't see either, Florida beating Ole Miss. Now maybe Ole Miss has let go of the rope too. It's just the SEC was wild. That's why we love it. That's why the SEC is the best.
Man, it's just crazy to think, and I don't know the dollar figure that was thrown into Ole Miss, but we have the understanding it's maybe the most expensive roster in the SEC, and not a playoff team.
And,
not a playoff team.
My third down goes to the Philadelphia 76ers, and they are ready this year. They've played 16 games. They already have 2 different 5-game losing streaks in their first 16 games. 3-13. Maybe not gonna be here very much longer this year.
Great seats available for the rest of the season for the Sixers. Dr. Liggett, you got your third.
Third up, Chris Sale. What a storybook season to win the National League Cy Young for the Braves, making his push for Cooperstown. He's one of the oldest ever to win his first Cy Young. But the really cool stat that I thought is he finished in the top 5 in the Cy Young voting for 5 years. Then in the next 5 years, he did not finish in the top 5.
Well, he barely even pitched in 3 of those years.
Yeah. And then he comes back and wins it this year. And then they said the guys that had won the Cy Young for the Braves, Warren Spahn, Tom Glavine, Smoltz, Maddox, and they asked Sale about it, and he said, I think I'm bringing that group down a little bit. But I mean, the guy he led the NL in wins, Ks, ERA, and won comeback player of the year. A pretty cool story.
Yeah, it's a special season. And yeah, I wouldn't have blamed anybody for kind of forgetting that Chris Sale was still an active major leaguer before this season. That's kind of crazy. What's your third down?
Third down was just Milroe for Bama. 15 carries for 7 yards, and Matt says he's basically a running back, right?
You know, I was surprised that he won that starting job so easily. Maybe the players like him. I get all that, but I think you're going to see better out of DeBoer and that Alabama team going forward once you get a Michael Penny. They need that Musburger guy that was at LSU. You know, I think he just wants a quarterback that can throw it a little bit more. You got to change your total. The offensive game plan when he's your quarterback is just a totally different game plan.
Dr. Liggett, what's up? What's going on this week at the River Valley Smile Center? Are your hours different because of the holiday week?
Yeah, we're working today, tomorrow, and then on Wednesday we're just working half a day. We're working till around noon or so, giving everybody a couple days off for the holidays.
Well, and I know one thing that you've tried to hit on, and this is really important at this point of the season because you're once you get to January 1st, if you haven't used your dental insurance, it starts all over again. So you want to if you get things you got to get taken care of, right now is the time to call Dr. Liggett at River Valley Smile Center at 479-646-0706. It's use it or lose it, right, Dr. Liggett?
That's right. Yep. Just come in. Be sure to mention that you heard us on halftime. We'll talk Hog Sports.
Matt, we've really enjoyed having Charlie with us for these segments. I know the two of you spent some time together outside, a little golf over the weekend too. Am I right about that?
We did. We played a little golf. We'll watch a game from time to time, and man, it's always you got to be careful because Doctor, he's got a nice little golf swing on him.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah. Tell us one thing you'd like to highlight of what you got going on at River Valley Smile Center right now.
Well, the thing that really separates us from a lot of places is we do sedation for general dentistry. There's hardly anybody around that does that, and so a lot of people don't want to be awake for having dental work, and so we're able to put you to sleep. You wake up, everything's done.
Again, the number is 479-646-0706. You can go to rivervalleysmiles.com. You can schedule an appointment there. Doc, you can take us home.
Come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family. Go Hogs.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, Charlie. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
You too, buddy.
All right, 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. We are right back after the break.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
It's that time of year, jackpot season. Play the new $1 Million Jackpot Scratch-Off ticket from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. You might just, win one. It's the biggest instant prize of the year, and that's just the icing on the cake. There's more than $50 million in prizes out there waiting for a winner. Be that winner. Try the new $1 Million Jackpot ticket in stores now at a lottery retailer near you. Happy jackpot season. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Halftime.
Hi everybody, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just... Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
All right, Christian, I think you and Charlie earlier in the show were trying to explain to me what happened in the Cowboys Commanders game, but I don't think it helped. I was just as confused after you guys talked about it as I was before. So I was going to open the floor for you here since we got a short segment. You got 3 minutes.
It was
what can you tell me what happened? Because apparently all this happened in about 3.5 minutes anyway.
It was pretty uneventful. About midway through the fourth quarter, it was 13-9. Dallas driving, they score, and then Washington goes down and scores, making it 20-7. Yeah, they get the 2-point conversion, and then they kick it off to Dallas with 3 minutes left, and Turpin kind of muffs the punt. He goes back and gets it, and then he takes it all the way, 27-17, and then I think that's where things get kind of weird. Washington kicks the field goal, and then they what they do? It was 27-20, and then they kick it to Dallas. I think Dallas punts it back to him with less than a minute, and Dallas is in prevent, and they throw it to McLaurin, and he outruns everybody. The Cowboys defenders were behind him, and he still somehow got past them. And then they go for the PAT, miss that. 27-26. They kick an onside kick. Dallas returns the punt for a touchdown. 34-26, and that's pretty much it. And
41 points scored combined by two teams in the fourth quarter.
yeah, it was wild. And then, you know, it'd been a bad special teams day. There had been a blocked punt, blocked field goal, missed field goals. It was crazy. Anything that could happen happened.
I am told so often by college football fans that the NFL is boring, and I don't know why you'd ever watch that. This does not sound like it was anything close to being boring. But is there something to complain about today for a Cowboys fan after that win?
Well,
because after Arkansas beats Louisiana Tech, we have things to complain about. I would figure Cowboys fans do too.
You know, I wouldn't complain since they finally won a game, but had they not pulled that game out, I mean, that would have been probably the worst loss of the year because they were in good position and then they made it.
But they did pull it out. The if does not go in that direction this time.
Yeah, they did pull it out.
It has to feel a little bit weird for that fan base for this season.
Yeah, I thought they
want to complain about something at the end. It's like, all right, it's time for Jerry to sell the team. It's time to fire McCarthy and get rid of Dak, even though he's not playing now. Sure. Why not?
Then they get the big bad Giants, right, on Thanksgiving Day.
Big bad Giants, the absolute game to boy, they're putting some of these really interesting games was on primetime moments. What was it? The Panthers and the Giants in Germany a couple of weeks ago. Did anybody really want to watch that? Cowboys Giants?
No.
Nah.
Danny DeVito versus Cooper Rush.
Danny DeVito, I love it. You ever seen Taxi? The TV show Taxi?
No.
Feel like we could get back to halftime homework at some point. We can send you to watch a few episodes of Taxi. You could watch Ruthless People and Twins with Schwarzenegger. Have you seen any of this? Do you even know who Schwarzenegger is?
Yes, I do.
Thank goodness, because the wrinkles are just getting on my face every time I bring you onto the show and you don't know who it is I'm talking about. And then again, Tives, never mind. 877-377-6963. So get with us on Halftime, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback right next to Baum. You got to get over to the Stadium Shop because they've got everything you need for being a Razorback fan. It doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt can be reached at 479-782-STADIUM. It's 479-782-3486. 479-STADIUM. Or just go to shoponrazorback.com. We'll break. We'll wrap up hour number 2 of Halftime after this.
This is Halftime.
Here with Grant Neal, General Manager at Rhodes Chevrolet. Grant, it looks like your quality and quantity of pre-owns just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's really getting a lot better, and the reason is because we're selling more new cars. More new inventories rolling in, and with that, we get better trade-ins, which are the highest quality used cars we get. They're all going through our shop, getting a high-quality inspection from our certified technicians, making sure that everything works and it stops, starts, and steers safely, because we want everything out on the lot to be at a high quality. But we have something for everybody, whether you're looking for a cheap set of wheels just to get around, or you need a new primary car for the family, a new truck for work, whatever it is, I promise we're going to have something for you on our pre-owned lot.
What if someone needs financing or doesn't have the best credit? Can you help them?
Absolutely. Our finance director, Robert Good, is an expert at working with the banks. We've had people who said that they'll never be able to buy a car, drive out of here in a brand new set of wheels. And as we know, the Fed just did another cut in rates, so it's only going to get better as the year goes on.
2800 on the highway, Van Buren. It's Rhodes Chevrolet, where we make car buying great again.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster. And in the past decade as a roofing contractor, he knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3010 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
The best things never change, they just get better. Like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Choose from juicy charbroiled double cheeseburgers, melty hot ham and cheeses, or hand-breaded chicken tender wraps. 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. There's no skimping in this bag. No junior burgers or tiny nuggies, just full-size goodness for big-time value. The $6.99 Original Bag, only at Hardee's. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Thanks down in the blood, yeah, I can face It doesn't change anything, so baby, what your friends I sympathize, maybe I don't need that too.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Matt, it was 2007. LSU was the 2-loss national champion. Arkansas beat them in the last game of the regular season. LSU beat Tennessee in the SEC title game and then beat Ohio State in the Superdome for the national title. And, man, you're not going to be an undefeated champion this year. Oregon, I guess, still could, so that could still happen. But what about the idea of maybe a 3-loss national champion? Just that wouldn't feel weird to look at, because there's going to be 3-loss teams that get a bye, and therefore, have a little bit of an edge, at least in terms of rest and whoever it is that they play after that. Still a national champion, though. I mean, if you win, it would be first round, quarterfinal, semifinal. You win 4 games against that kind of competition to end the season. I don't care how many losses you have, and hey, you may have a 4-loss national champion. Think about that. I mean, there's a situation this can happen. Georgia loses against Georgia Tech. I know crazy things can happen, and then lose in an SEC championship game. Would they get in with 4 losses? Probably not to Georgia Tech. A&M beats Texas, but loses the SEC championship game. Do you keep A&M out with 4 losses? Probably so. 3 losses, I can see you getting in. 4 losses, you're not getting an at-large bid, even with an SEC championship game loss, which would just be the craziest thing to think about, because then there's Tennessee sitting, just watching the SEC championship game thinking, go ahead, play, we're in. And they will be in with a win over Vanderbilt. But I still don't think that that's a gimme.
Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Georgia. Those would be my 4 that I would say could win it. That's Georgia has 2 losses, 0 losses, 1 loss, 1 loss. Yeah, I don't think this year will be the year, but it could. It's like when the Giants won the Super Bowl, they had like 7 losses that year. You're like, whoa, man, y'all had 7 losses. I think Pittsburgh got in there late one year too and had a handful of losses. It is always a little bit different, but I think I still think, Phil, there's about 4 teams that can win it all. I think it's going to be one of those 4 teams.
Now imagine what it looks like for the team that doesn't make the playoff out of the SEC but goes and plays in the Citrus Bowl, and how much different that team will look from right now to when the Citrus Bowl is played. The roster will be, I would just guess it's unrecognizable with all the opt-outs and potential transfers too. And it's just a matter of not going to the playoff when that happens now. Hour number 3 coming up. Mike Irwin in 20 minutes. Stay with Halftime.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly sunny skies, slight chance of seeing a shower across the south. Temperatures will be falling from the 60s to 50s north, from 70 into the 60s south. Mainly clear to partly cloudy, overnight lows in the 30s tonight, and then sunshine highs in the 50s on Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that's respected. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Judge, man, take it to the house. The dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back as we move into the third hour on halftime. Phil Elson here with Matt Jones on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Got Colton Little now producing our show. C45 is with us on a game night on the Hill, Arkansas and Maryland Eastern Shore, which I'm reading, I guess, is one of the worst programs in Division I college basketball. I guess we're doing net rankings already. I guess they're in the 350s or something like that. So, and it's another one of those games where other people are just showing up. Just you want to see a blowout. You want to see them get ahead 10-0 before the opponent scores. It's a 30-point game at halftime, and just feel like they beat their brains in or something like that. I just hope at some point soon, maybe this week, I don't know, that Nelly Davis's wrist starts to feel better, because until that happens, I don't know if you're going to get the guy that you thought you were getting, and that Brazil's ankle gets better and Jonas Aidoo's ankle gets better, or at least to the point where he can get out and play and look like the SEC second teamer or first teamer that he is. Until that happens, I think there'll be uneven performances, because you're counting on Cecil had brought this up and he called in earlier, Matt. You're getting minutes from guys like Carter Knox and Richmond, who I think are good players. It's just I don't think it was designed for them to get out there and play all that much right now. So, yeah, wins are one thing, but more than anything, you need your guys to get healthy. And that's three of their guys, already a short rotation. Three of their guys, two of them not suiting up the last couple of games, and one of them in Davis is just not the same player with a shooting wrist that's ailing him. So, yeah, I mean, they'll win this game, but I also expect it'll probably be an uneven performance, just because it's not. I don't think it's full team right now.
Well, yeah, you want all your bullets when conference play gets here. You want your stars to be stars, but every time there's an opportunity and coach gives you an opportunity, or you earn that playing time and you get out there, man, you could be adding depth. I mean, go out there and take the most of your opportunity. Show coach you know what to do defensively. Show him you know what to do as far as not turning the ball over, making the right basketball play. So every time these kids get out there, man, you're kind of earning some more playing time to add a little bit of depth. But you still, if you don't have your dudes, if you got 3 out of your top 7 out, it's what do they say? If you don't have a quarterback, you can't really win. It's the same thing. If you got 3 of your guys you're giving your money to, your piece of the pie to, and they can't go, then you're going to be in trouble. So the main thing is you want to get these guys healthy, make sure they're in game shape a little bit, but make sure they're healthy, because, man, we're just getting started. It's a long basketball season.
It's just also you feel, and it's because of the injuries more than anything else, that there are teams that are ahead of Arkansas in the idea of them getting cohesive. I mean, you're already not worried about it, but with all these players that had not played together, and the only ones who really did play to Kentucky together, that it takes time for the lasagna to bake and then to congeal properly in the refrigerator to eat it the next day. That's how, because I'm making lasagna later today. That's the way I was going to go with it. Other teams are ahead of you in their chemistry and in their togetherness and just playing together because of these injuries. And what you're watching now is not what you're going to see in January. Hopefully by then Adu's ankle is better and Brazil is better and there's not another injury for him. And Davis's wrist is feeling well to the point where, he'll shoot a lot better than he is shooting right now. That's the thing you got to worry. Here's the other thing about this game. I had the line. Bet Saracen's got Arkansas favored. What did I see here? 34-point spread. Man, 34-point spread. I'd still stay away from that. But if it's a team that's 100% together, if you got your guys and they'd played together for the last month to 2 months, I'd say, hey, they go out, they'd wipe the floor with MES, the MES Hawks. But I just don't know what to expect. And then the other line I see is they've got the Razorbacks a 3.5-point underdog at Missouri, which I don't know. It seems to make sense to me. Just going on the road. Caleb Pangburn asking about injuries. You see, I don't know if you're asking about football injuries or basketball injuries. We just went over the basketball injuries. As far as football injuries are concerned, Russell's healthy, Matt. He just didn't play. I think he was suited up. He just never got a carry. They want Dubinion, they want Jackson. I think those are the guys that they look at as your two top backs. And the way that they run when they are healthy, I don't see a reason to feel otherwise about it. I also think they're viewing potentially the idea of too many cooks, But I want to make sure Russell is back next year. Because I really like Braylon Russell. I think he's the future of the running game for this team. Now, when next year, if Dubinion comes back and he's looked good when he's healthy, and I love the story for him this year. Going and getting suspended. I don't know what happened with it, but working back into good graces, and here he is. He just had one of his best games in college. But you got to keep Russell healthy. I mean, doesn't it feel like he's the future of that position here at Arkansas?
Well, it feels like it's a by committee. I think if you have Dubinion and Russell next year as your 1-2 running backs, because the way it goes is you're not going to have your running back all 12 games. It's got to be by committee anyways, and splitting the carries. I love the fact that you had Dubinion with 15 and Jaquindon with 16. That's kind of what you want to do, and it's man, it's a gladiator collision sport with these running backs. They really are just absolutely beast, and they take, it's a car collision just about every time they get the ball. And the way Dubinion runs downhill, the way Russell runs downhill, I mean, it really is. And who knows? This might be Jaquindon Jackson's last game. He's not going to play in the bowl game. So coming up, he's another guy that just got here. So if you're looking for the bowl game, it'd be more Dubinion and Russell. But going into Missouri, that's Armstrong, probably his last game as a Razorback. Jaquindon Jackson, Landon Jackson, you start going down the list. This is the last chance you're going to get to see some of these guys wear that Razorback uniform.
Chris doesn't like the name Maryland Eastern Shore for a sports team. Well, it's because it's a name for a university. And, I mean, Maryland is shaped to the point where they have a Western and an Eastern Shore. There's just not many states you can say that. Florida would be one of them. Maryland would be another one. But they're the Hawks, which, what is there, like 50 other universities, more than that go by Hawks of some kind? And Caleb said basketball injuries. That's what he was asking about. No one's giving any timetable about this. In terms of Adu's injury, it's been a little... I mean, I guess secretive would be the right idea, but there's no timetable. I think it's just, all we've heard of is just we're waiting for him to be healthy. And with Davis, like there's, no info on what happened. It's just the idea that it's a wrist, but he's playing. I don't know. I don't think there's been any kind of timetable, at least communicated to anybody about when it is that they can come back. And I also know that these are the sort of injuries because of where they're located and the sport you're playing. They're injuries that can nag you for an entire season, unless you take 2 months off. Bad ankle sprain, if that's what's going on, wrist sprain. I mean, think of everything you're doing with your ankles and your wrists. It's just, I wonder, you say, well, nobody's ever really 100% once you get halfway through the season. Well, can they be as healthy as they can be by that point, dealing with these injuries that have started from even before the season started? I mean, it just sounds like they just never really had a chance to practice together as a full team either. So, and another aspect on the football thing, and this isn't even an injury, you got to keep in mind for an uneven performance this last week, Keyshawn Blackstock starting at left guard had a couple of holding penalties that wiped out big gains. I think one of those big games was because he was holding the defender, and Patrick Kudus was not dressed out in order to preserve his red shirt. Well, Kudus is ready to go for the remainder. I mean, he'll play against Mizzou. He'll play in the bowl game. So I think they've been better with Kudus on the line than Blackstock, and I think that also was on display against La Tech on Saturday. All right, got to tell you what's going on at Twin Peaks in Rogers. You're already doing so much cooking this week, so don't do more than you have to. You can get over to Twin Peaks in Rogers and, hey, sample some of the rare bourbons they've got all month long at Twin Peaks. They've got an exclusive and extensive collection of incredibly rare bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas. You can check out their barrel selects, handpicked by their team and bottled just for you. The supply is limited, so get over to Twin Peaks in Rogers and check on that right now. Also, Give 5, Get 5 all month long. It's in honor of Veterans Day. Get over to Twin Peaks, donate $5 to Tunnel to Towers throughout the rest of the month. You'll get $5 back to spend on yourself at Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks Restaurant located in Rogers. Online, twinpeaksrestaurant.com. More TVs, bigger screens, and scenic views. Always more to watch at Twin Peaks. Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation joins us after the break.
This is halftime.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Finding your joy in cycling is the main goal at Champion Cycling. Champion Cycling takes pride in helping you find the right bike. Whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure, Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands like Specialized Surly and Salsa. Need service or repair? The friendly, professionally trained technicians will assess your bike's needs and provide you with a free, no-obligation estimate. Find your joy in cycling at Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazur Road in Fort Smith.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
The American Patriot Promotions Gun Show is coming to Malvern December 7th and 8th at the Hot Springs County Fairgrounds. Join us Saturday, December 7th from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. and Sunday, December 8th from 9 till 3. Tickets are just $10 per person, $8 for police, and only $5 for veterans in the military. Children 16 and under are free. Go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Who's gonna tell you when it's too late? Who's gonna tell you things are so great? You can't go on. Yeah, nothing's wrong. Who's gonna tell you how tonight?
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Always appreciate time from Mike Irwin with Pig Trail Nation. Comes on every Monday with us on Halftime. Happy Monday and Thanksgiving week, Mike. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
We're good. We're good, man. Just got a short week. We only have 3 shows to worry about. Got a game on Saturday. Heck, we got a game today, Thursday, and Saturday. What went on at the press conference today? What the first thing you can tell us that Sam Pittman had to talk about?
You know, I've already had a couple of people come up to me who watched it on Zoom, and they said something was different about him. He just seemed to be supremely confident, relaxed. What was up with that? And it's pretty obvious to me. Number one, he knows now he's going to be back, but there's something else going on there too. And he talked about it a little bit. And that is, and I think I mentioned it to you guys a couple of weeks ago, he's going to have a lot more NIL money available this time around. And he talked about being able to keep some of the guys that he's got. He also talked about the difference between making a bowl game and not making a bowl game, and most people never consider this. He said last year, when we didn't make a bowl game, there were no bowl workouts. Players went home during December, and he said some of them didn't come back. And he said now, because they're going to be here, they're going to be working out, we see them, we're a lot less likely to lose people through the portal that we want to stay. So certainly that's a factor too. And then you get this revenue sharing thing that comes up next spring. And I just think he now realizes that the one thing that's really been hurting recruiting for him, and even the portal recruiting, even though they've done a fairly good job, that's all about to change. And so, again, you get people saying, what's the big deal about making a bowl game? There's just things they never consider that are a factor. Maybe not to you as a fan. Maybe you're not excited about whatever bowl they go to and whoever they play. But it means a lot inside the program internally.
Mike, I'm with you there. A question I would have is, do you expect both the offensive and defensive coordinators to be back for the next season?
Yeah, I would think so. I can't imagine that they wouldn't be here unless for some reason they didn't want to be here. But yeah, I would say so. I think when he mentioned on Monday that this whole business, when they were talking about bowl eligibility and what it would mean, he said, it doesn't change me at all, because if I'm here or I'm not here, I'm okay with that. But he said what it means, if we've got bowl eligibility, he said it means something for those coaches and those players. And so when he threw the coaches in there, he was talking about these guys want to come back, and I want them to be back. I like this staff. So I don't see any change there.
In terms of bowl games, I mean, if Auburn were to beat Alabama Saturday, then there's 14 bowl-eligible SEC teams. They already have 13. I don't know if you'll get 4 teams in the playoff, but there aren't 13 bowls that the SEC is contracted with. You beat Missouri on Saturday. I feel like that should guarantee that you're in one of those 6 bowl games. The group of 6, I think, is what they call it. Music City, Texas, Liberty,
right,
where the Tampa or the Gator Bowl. And man, I mean, then there's just the aspect of you got to find a way to beat Missouri now. I mean, it's just the 2 programs you just can't seem to find a way to get a win over, and they only have 1 win over them in these last 12 years, are Mizzou and A&M, and that's got to change. And the best year they had under Sam, they beat both of them. Might as well beat one of them this year.
I went back and watched that Missouri-Mississippi State game twice, okay? Mississippi State was at home. This was maybe their last chance to make a statement, and they came out pumped. And they came right down, and they had a drop pass at the 5-yard line. That was big because they ended up having to kick a field goal. Then they stopped Missouri and almost sacked their quarterback right at the goal line. I mean, he came within probably a half yard of being a safety. But they kicked it out of there. Missouri got the ball, went back to the 35, and had a penalty on I think it was a run down inside into the red zone. That got called back. It pushed them back, and on the next play, they had a fumble and a scoop and score. And the air went out of Mississippi State. That just changed that game automatically. And Missouri got confident. And Brady Cook it took him a while to get on track, but when he did, he was throwing the ball well. They were running well. They're going to be hard to beat, guys. Sam Pittman talked about that. He said, he's one of the, you Razorback fans don't like this guy, and they have a reason, because he's been popping off about Arkansas since he got that job. But Sam Pittman said, he's an excellent play caller. You don't want him to have the ball late in the game when you need to score, because you won't get it back. So I think it's going to be tough to win that game. It doesn't mean they can't. The one thing Sam said was, hey, it's on Saturday. I don't know why that would make a difference as opposed to the Friday, but he said, I'll take anything at this point. Maybe just playing him on Saturday will be different.
Mike, I got Texas, Georgia, and Tennessee as 100% locks going to be in representing the SEC in the playoff 12. So do you see it as A&M could be playing for their play-in game? If A&M was to beat Texas, maybe they're the 4th team. Ole Miss, Alabama, who is going to be that 4th team, Mike?
I can't see Ole Miss getting in, because the only game they've got left is Mississippi State. They win that, so what? If the Aggies beat Texas, which gets them into the SEC championship game, I still think they have to win it, and then they would automatically qualify. I'm not sure an A&M team that loses in the championship game gets in. It all depends on how many they let in, and how much all this jumble that's going on all year long with SEC teams beating each other up, how much does that affect the committee? And nobody's going to know until it happens.
Well, I think it should affect them to where, look, Indiana should be in the playoff, okay? They've beaten the crap out of everybody they played outside of, 5-point win at Michigan, and then losing to the number 2 team in the country in their own stadium.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing about Indiana's resume to me right now that says we're not supposed to be a playoff team. They should be. There's going to be 4 Big Ten teams that get in. And what this says, I don't think the best football is played in the Big Ten. I think the most talent is in the SEC, but you've ended up with teams that just have very uneven performances that are incredibly talented. Georgia's had those games. Tennessee's had those games. A&M, Alabama, all of them. Even Texas, they just happen to win just one game. You have to win the games that are in front of you. That's also what this should be about. Is a 2-loss SEC team better than a 1-loss Big Ten team? Potentially so, but I have trouble saying that a 3-loss team deserves to get in over any 1-loss team in the Big Ten.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, again, I don't think A&M gets in, even if they get to the championship game. If they lose it, they're just out. That's just the way it is. And honestly, they'd have a better chance if they didn't go to the championship game if they were going to lose it. But they gotta hope that's what they do. They gotta hope they win, beat Texas, and then win that championship game, and then they're automatically in. But I don't think Ole Miss is in. I don't think that at all. I think they're out. And I don't know what that means there. I mean, they spent $20 million on a team that is going to go to the Music City Bowl or whatever. I don't know.
Mike, I'm going to ask you this again next week, but right now, if I was to say, who do you got? What horse is your favorite to win the national championship?
Oh, man. Oh, God.
You think the undefeated Oregon, Ohio State, could Texas figure it out? But I didn't know if you had a horse right now you were thinking.
I can't go with Texas because I just haven't been that impressed. And where are their big wins?
Mm-hmm.
And then who else? You're going to talk about Georgia? They've been so inconsistent. I mean, I don't know. I'll say this. I don't think it's going to be an SEC team. I don't know who it is. It becomes much more complicated. I've said this back when they were only letting 4 teams in. All these idiots would get on every week on social media and say, that's all we need. There's only 4 good teams every year. Blah, blah, blah. And they're ignoring the fact that what happens in the NCAA tournament in basketball every year, the more people you let in, the greater chance you have for an upset. And I said the same thing has to apply for football. So for the first time, we're really going to have a field. And those people that think those teams that aren't seeded don't have a chance, what I'm looking to see is if we see those upsets that we see in basketball. The only difference is those first-round games, that's a road game if you're a lower-seeded team, and you don't have to do that in the NCAA basketball. If they were all neutral, I would say you're going to have a much greater chance of upsets. But I still think because you've got 12 teams, it's just harder to pick somebody that's going to win it all, and I think the champion is going to be somebody that surprises us.
Well, you know that this league and the Big Ten want to strong-arm the other leagues into, like 3 or 4 automatic bids out of the SEC. It's just kind of funny that the kind of season that is going on in the SEC, it's almost the same idea as like what Florida State tried. Hey, we're Florida State. We need to be out of the ACC because we missed the playoff last year. And then they go on to have one of the worst seasons in their program history. The SEC is over here banging the drum about we should be getting, 4 teams in every year. We should have automatic bids for every team that makes the SEC championship game. And now there's a possibility of a 3-loss team in the SEC championship game, which is just kind of wild. So it's not the year to be trying that, but maybe it's more about the eyes and the money that's coming into the league and the ratings and all of that, because this year, the most talent might be in the SEC, but that doesn't mean all these teams are ready to play.
Well, people think because I cover a team in the SEC that I'm all over the SEC. They're superior. Guys, I've had issues with this conference ever since Arkansas joined it. They're too arrogant. There are too many fans in this that they think more of that league than maybe some years it's justified. They're not the only thing out there, in spite of what they may think. And by expanding this to 16 teams and that are all loaded, and you throw NIL in there and the effect that it's had, to sort of, it's evened out everything. And so now I think they may have created a monster. where there's just such an even balance of good teams that can beat you. Any team can beat any other team. The overall effect may be to drag down the league itself. People aren't stupid out there. If this continues to happen, they're not going to sit here 2 and 3 years down the road and say, well, the SEC is so good, they need 5 teams in every year. I mean, it's based on performance. We'll see it's going to be important to see what SEC teams do this year in the playoffs, because that's how you convince people that you're better and you deserve to get more teams in. Well, let's see what they do.
It's a good point. It really will come down to what happens in the playoff. That's right. Mike, we'll leave it there. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Always appreciate these visits on Mondays. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Irwin, Pig Trail Nation, with us each Monday on Halftime. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, the dealership that served our listening audience for over 70 years. Junction of I-40 and I-49 right beside the Cracker Barrel. Your family gets the best experience. Choose the right RV for your adventures. Service and parts department on site. Got everything you need at Crabtree RV. Also online at crabtreerv.com. We'll break. We'll come back into the home stretch of halftime right after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 no, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You're listening to Halftime live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
Even though the holidays are almost here, there is still time to get results for your body with a personal trainer right here in the River Valley from Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill. Your choice for the results you want. Black Friday, buy one, get one personal training specials. And new members get the rest of the year for free. Even more Black Friday specials to choose from. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill on 71 North. Ask about our giveaway from our partner, First Form and Vortex Optics. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill, ready to help you train for the body you deserve. Anytime Fitness, Rye Hill.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
It's what a girl wants. I don't have the needs, Stay up all night talking love here in the morning. Jack will have chillin', everything will be just fine.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Back on Halftime as we are in our home stretch here. And I don't have to cook this week. I'm very thankful for that. I used to do the turkey back during my married days, and everybody was together, and parents would come in and try to like impress your parents to be like, you remember when you guys used to cook the turkey and it was as dry as this carpet that I'm standing on right now? I can do better than you can. So I would brine that sucker for like a day, and it would stay nice and juicy. It would work really well. But I don't have to worry about it this week. Someone else is doing the cooking for me, which means I'm not going to complain about anything that is made for me. I will just say thank you very much, and may I have a lot more of that.
Definitely. Thank you for this beautiful year. This Donnie Brasco, a good Thanksgiving movie. They say Die Hard's a Christmas movie, whatever, but when
is Donnie Brasco a Thanksgiving movie?
It's kind of got the holiday spirit. It seems like is why I say, is that too early to? If that's on, you kind of check that one out. It seems to always be on around this time of year.
My kids haven't seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is like one of the only Thanksgiving movies that I know of. It's just
watch that and then watch Due Date. Back to back. It's almost like the same, though, and it's it's Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis. You know who I'm talking about.
I know who you mean. Yeah.
Jamie Foxx makes an appearance. Juliette Lewis makes an appearance in there. But it's the same premise. You know how they remake everything, whatever. It's like you watch Planes, Trains, and Automobile, and then you go and watch Due Date, and you're like, oh, those kind of very similar movies.
But there's a scene in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles that was cut out that you can find on YouTube or whatever that needs to be in the original cut. It's like I got to find a way to edit it into the movie, or just tell my kids when the movie's over that this was supposed to be in the movie at somewhere, and it's John Candy sitting there. I don't remember if it's a train station or the airport, and he is eating a chili dog while killing a lung dart. I mean, you want to talk about the effort. That's Jim
Leland-esque.
Well, Leland wouldn't. At least Leland would just smoke the heater in the dugout. He would wait till after the game to crush the chili dog.
Gangster.
And he was like a third of the size of John Candy, too.
John Candy, he was one of our favorite Canadians, huh?
That's right. I think the last movie he made was what was that one called? Canadian Bacon? Is that what I think that was the last one. He's playing like a Mountie, and you're thinking, I really feel bad for him.
I don't know if it was the Argonauts or what, but I know he was a part owner of one of those CFL football teams there for a little while as well.
Well, somebody needs to come up with another Thanksgiving movie because we're all just wanting more of it. And here's the other thing too. Like, we got to the point in my daughter's life where she's not going to sit and watch the movie with me. It's just not going to happen.
It's background.
She's 15.
It's background noise.
Oh, she's 15 years old. No, she's not even going to hang out. There are dinner plans to be made with friends now, Matt. And you know what that means? Transportation, because she doesn't drive yet. That's another thing about this week. I always loved it when I was a high school student or even a college student too, because you get to see. It's actually better as a college student. You go home for the week. You see everybody you hadn't seen since the year before. Everybody goes out the night before Thanksgiving. It's a big, big night, knowing you're going to sleep until dinner the next day or lunch or whatever it is. She's not at the point where she's going out though, in terms of that. But there will be dinner tonight, and then I got to figure out, am I putting a movie on with me and the kid, the other kid, the son, the actual one who likes to spend time with me? At the football game, I had my kids at the football game the other day. Daughter didn't want to hang out with me. She had friends at the game. Son wants to be with me everywhere he goes. Just wants the road trip with dad. You know what I mean? He wants to go to the Missouri game. He actually wants to go to the Missouri game.
Yeah.
Well, that's obvious that he likes to spend time with dad. Because if you're making a choice to spend...
Y'all have to drive up there, huh?
Basically, it'd be a 12-hour round trip to go to Columbia, where it might be 33 degrees at kickoff. He must really like hanging out with me. Something's wrong with this kid. Scott has given us a call on halftime, 877-377-6963. Good afternoon, Scott. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, Phil? Matt, I wish y'all happy Thanksgiving. I hope y'all have a great with the family and everything.
Thanks very much, Scott. You too.
I'm down here in Dothan. I used to live up in Bergman, up in Harrison, which y'all know where that's at. Sure. I used to call y'all years back and stuff. I always liked Arkansas, but I'm a Gator. Don't get me wrong, I'm a Gator, but I just feel like the Gators, I don't know what y'all think, but in the last 3 games, since that Texas loss, where they got beat down, we got like 11 players or 12, I think, starters that are out. The next man up has stepped up. In the last 2 games, I've been impressed just watching them play. It's like you're playing for your coach. They had DJ Lagway on the show the other night and said if Napier was fired, he's leaving. That's right. You're playing for your coach. That's pretty awesome when you get kids that step up that are freshmen, sophomores. Then Gates went out in that game. Early in the game, I think it was the second play of the game against Ole Miss. Blew his knee. He's gone on for the year, too. So that's 12 starters out. And then John Paul, I think he's from Arkansas. Is he not, from a transfer from Arkansas to Ole Miss?
There was Devin Manuel, one of the tackles, but I think he's been out most of the season. I don't know of anyone else.
But Paul, anyway, he acted like he had a knee injury. I watched him look over at the sideline, and I thought to myself,
oh, yeah, Poo-Paul. Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Yes, sir, football. And then he turned around. 2 plays later, he comes back and makes one heck of a play. I thought to myself, he was never injured. He just stopped the momentum on that first drive the Gators had. And I thought to myself, how they investigate that stuff? Do they even really do it? I just thought, man, it was just great to see the team play for the coach. I could see that. I just couldn't believe they won 2 games against. I know you're playing the Swamp. It's loud there. It's unbelievable loud. But I just want to see y'all's opinion. I compare them with Arkansas. I feel like Arkansas and Florida, they're about the same. Bunch of young freshman quarterbacks. The team I feel like Arkansas just missing the hump. It's just something about it. Up and down. That's what Florida did.
Florida, the difference for me here is Florida made a change of quarterback that was forced because of an injury to Graham Mertz, and it worked out better for them because DJ Lagway is a difference maker. I don't think Graham Mertz necessarily was, and I'm just assuming they've gotten a little bit healthier because they played so much better against Louisiana Tech and Mississippi after the Texas game. So, and it is kind of interesting to look at how many Florida fans thought already they were going to get Lane Kiffin. He's going to be their next coach. They end up beating Kiffin. And, what does it say about Lane with this expensive roster and a team that was basically playoff or bust?
He's the Jimmy Franklin of the South.
Franklin's going to make the playoff this year, though.
Man, he tried the Golden Gophers. He tried to give it away.
Yeah, see, that's a good point. 1 point win, right?
That's it. It was a road win. Hey, road wins are tough, man. It's hard to beat anybody on the road, and Like I said, by this year, the book's out on everybody. Nobody's doing anything different. You kind of know what you can do. The games are tough. They're that's what Frank Broyles said. They remember in November. They're tough, man. Games are tough in November.
Well, so he says Florida is sort of Arkansas. Well, I mean, they're close enough in the standings to feel that maybe they're doing that. And basically, both teams have had a little bit of a bump upwards from last year to this year. Both programs had a lot of people that thought that basically the coach fired even before the season started. So maybe there is some, maybe he's got something there. Although the idea of Arkansas and Florida being somewhat identical programs, it'd be the first time anybody might have said that before. We got here's a Thanksgiving movie, and this one's worth your time because I've seen this. Ellison Harrison says The Last Waltz, which is really outstanding. It's the last, I think it was the last performance, might have ever been the last time that the band was all together at once. And your boy Marty Scorsese was the director for this, Matt. It's a beautifully shot concert film I'd forgotten it was filmed on Thanksgiving Day. So I don't think does that make it a Thanksgiving movie? It just makes it a Thanksgiving concert, I guess. But it'd be 2 hours well spent.
Holiday movie. Scent of a Woman would be another one. Holiday movie. Young Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, I didn't even remember he was in that one. And Pacino. Pacino is just at
a young Robin, a young. I think he was George Clooney.
Chris O'Donnell, was that his name?
I think he was the Clooney Batman's Robin.
Boy, what an apex of the career! If you're Clooney's Robin,
he
been heard from since.
The '90s that they'll do that to you.
Who was Kilmer's Robin? Did he have one? I don't remember that one. 877.
He had Nicole
6963. Yeah,
Nicole Kidman, I think, was his Robin.
ROBYN. Stay with Halftime. We'll wrap up the show right after this.
This is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
This is Halftime.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Are holidays stressful for you? Hey, Ty Richardson for the Whippoorwill. The Newmeyers would love to take care of some of that stress by providing you an awesome Thanksgiving dinner. Call the Whippoorwill at 479-769-2095 for the best Thanksgiving catering you've ever had. Smoked turkey breast, dressing, mashed potatoes, and turkey gravy with all the fixins. The Newmeyers' newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, taking care of your holiday this year.
Seems Thanksgiving Day is upon us.
Here with Grant Neal, General Manager at Rhodes Chevrolet. Grant, it looks like your quality and quantity of pre-owns just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's really getting a lot better, and the reason is because we're selling more new cars. More new inventories rolling in, and with that, we get better trade-ins, which are the highest quality used cars we get. They're all going through our shop, getting a high-quality inspection from our certified technicians, making sure that everything works and it stops, starts, and steers safely, because we want everything out on the lot to be at a high quality. But we have something for everybody, whether you're looking for a cheap set of wheels just to get around, or you need a new primary car for the family, a new truck for work, whatever it is, I promise we're going to have something for you on our pre-owned lot.
What if someone needs financing or doesn't have the best credit? Can you help them?
Absolutely. Our finance director, Robert Good, is an expert at working with the banks. We've had people who said that they'll never be able to buy a car, drive out of here in a brand new set of wheels. And as we know, the Fed just did another cut in rates, so it's only going to get better as the year goes on.
2800 down the highway, Van Buren. It's Rhodes Chevrolet, where we make car buying great again.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren, the best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I like to do something nice. Take my hand and I'll take you for a ride. You hit me yesterday because I made you cry. So before we die, I like to do something nice. I want to buy you something. I want to buy you something.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
All right, wrapping things up here. Forgotten to bring this up in hour number 2. Fare thee well to Chuck Woolery, who passed away at age 83. I think that was yesterday. I didn't realize he was the first host of Wheel of Fortune as I was reading about him.
Either, yeah.
It was called Shopper's Bazaar when he hosted it. That's I never thought about it being like any like that would be the name Price is Right should have had.
There you go. There you go.
Shopper's Bazaar. Wheel of Fortune just kind of rolls off the tongue a lot better. But I remember him from Love Connection. I think I might have seen him on Scrabble a few times, but it was Love Connection was the thing. We got to get back to that kind of dating show instead of this like Bachelor or Bachelorette kind of thing, where it's just very simple. Somebody sees a video of someone, they choose out of the 3 people, go on a date. Then they come back a couple weeks later, talk about the date, and if the audience voted for the person that she actually chose, then the show pays for the second date. It seems to be nice and simple instead of, like making these people feel like they're really falling in love by being in some giant paradise where so that once you get to reality, you might realize, you know what, I don't really like this sucker that they've set me up with. Might work a little bit better on Love Connection.
That's a good idea right there. I got a big shout out to Brandon Allen. He got his 10th start in the NFL. It's been a few years since he got a start, but he did throw a touchdown pass. It didn't go the way he wanted it to go, but man, the dude's still in the league, still doing it, still on a 53-man roster. Couldn't be happier for him. Wish it would have went a little better for him, but hey, he might get a start again the next week. I don't know how long Purdy's out. So shout out to one of Arkansas's own getting a start last Sunday.
I think it'd have been, it'd have been over a full season.
2017,
started, right?
2017, I think. Like it's something crazy like that, or 2021. It's like multiple years, I think.
Well, for your first start since then, to go 17 out of 29 with a touchdown and just short of 200 yards, not bad. Plus, the Packers are pretty good, and the Niners are kind of struggling a bit. What do we have tonight for Monday Night Football? Ravens-Chargers. That's a good one. Yeah, the Harbaugh Bowl. That's right. I'd forgotten. We're back to the Harbaugh Bowl. They coach against each other in a Super Bowl, and now one's got a Super Bowl championship, the other's got a national championship, and they'll meet at SoFi. That'll be a good one. You know who I pull for in this because I can't go against, can't root for any of the teams in the AFC North.
Jim's never beat John. 0-2 so far.
What do we got Thursday? Bears, Lions, Giants, Cowboys, Dolphins, Packers. And then we get our Friday Raiders, Chiefs game, which doesn't look like it'll be all that good. And who the heck is playing quarterback now for the Raiders now that Gardner Minshew's out? Is O'Donnell, your boy Aiden O'Donnell, still around there? You're going to have to sign somebody off the waiver wire. You know, none of these games really. I mean, I guess the Dolphins Packers may be okay now that Tua's back, but the other couple of games, I'm not too sure about that. The Lions are America's team, Matt, because everybody watches them on Thanksgiving, and now they're the underdogs because never even been to a Super Bowl. I don't know. They ever even played in the conference championship
last year.
Before last year, I think that was the first time, right? That's the real America's team. When you play on Thanksgiving in the entire country, no matter if they really are Lions fans or not even football fans, they're all watching you. All right, it's been good stuff today. Hope everybody enjoys Arkansas basketball against Maryland Eastern Shore. And our Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast will be out very soon, and we'll include our talks with Mike Irwin, our 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Liggett, and Ruskin and Jack are coming up in just a couple of minutes as well to entertain you up until, well, right about the time that Chuck and Zim get on the air. We'll be back with you tomorrow for another edition of Halftime. For Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston, Colton Little, I'm Phil. Thanks for listening. Get up, get out, and get better.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas